Joined by Andre Nel at the end of a very, very interesting first day here at Chelmsford. If the game meandered last week to a draw to Worcestershire, I don't think that's likely to happen unless the weather intervenes. It was full of surprises on a dramatic day, wasn't it, Andre?
Yeah, it was an interesting day. It's probably not the day we wanted after winning the toss and getting bowled out quite cheaply. But I thought the bowlers scrapped well and came back nicely and got us into a position where we've got a chance. And I think it's a typical Essex way. We sort of look at the game and we keep on scrapping and we're coming back. And hopefully tomorrow morning we have a good start to the day, bowl them out quite quickly and restrict the lead as much as possible. And then set off and bat properly and hopefully get a nice lead and then scrap again to get the 10 wickets for the win, hopefully. So that'll be ideal if it goes that way, but it never does. So let's hope for a good day tomorrow.
What was the thinking behind at the start of the day? Obviously, winning the toss, we decided to bat. Did we think that, as is typical at Chelmsford, it'd do a little bit in the morning and then perhaps play easier? But perhaps it did a little bit too much in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's normally the way. Yeah, if you get in, you're going to expect it's going to do something. You have to bat well in all conditions and everywhere you go and play. The first session on the first day is quite hard to bat on, and you have to be disciplined. And I think we sort of let ourselves down a few soft dismissals possibly. But they also bowled well. I thought Durham bowled really good lengths and they bowled fuller than normal here. And that's probably a good way here. And they bowled well and they got to take the credit for that also. But those things happen, and like I said, we didn't bat as well as we wanted to. But again, we sort of scrapped and we in the game at the end of day one.
Interesting, isn't it, that you mentioned the Durham attack there, pace bowlers, and they did all bowl well. They all took a share of the wickets. Sam Cook did his bit early on for us. And then Simon Harmer and Dan Lawrence accounting for 6 of the wickets, which you wouldn't have thought that was a spinner's track out there today.
Yeah, I think but we also used to Army doing some incredible things here on the first or second day. He spins on most things, so you don't expect anything less of Army. It's nice that Dan chipped in with 2 wickets at the end and really put us back into the game kind of thing, getting those 2 wickets, and especially Borthwick, who played really, really well. And at that stage it was crucial wicket to get him out, and some fresh faces tomorrow morning. If we came back and he was still in, he could have been quite dangerous. Out of the 144 runs, he scored 100 runs, so it sees the big part he's played in their innings. So it's a big wicket for us, and so hopefully tomorrow morning we come back, whoever takes the 2 wickets as quickly as possible, and then let us get batting and hopefully bat well.
Yeah, and I mean, that last session really brought us back into the game, didn't it? Because the way Borthwick was batting, it was all on us to Durham, and Essex weren't going to get a look in. But we showed true character, typical Essex character. And as you say, we're right back in it. A couple of decent partnerships at the top of the order, and it's very much game on, isn't it?
I think so. And one thing to note is I think also they put the heavy roller on, it seemed to sort of help the wicket and flatten out slightly more. And it moved, but it didn't move as much possibly when we bowled second. We possibly missed occasionally slightly fuller than normal. But those happen. I think we probably tried to get early cheap wickets, and that caused us to bowl slightly fuller. But if we can come back tomorrow morning, take those 2 wickets, bat well, and could set up an interesting game, a good scrap. It would be a good win from the position we were in after our batting today.